I know, it's been a while. But without the risk of sounding like Alex Toon, I've been busy.
Right, fellas, welcome back. I know it's been a while. I'm not going to say it. In fact, I'm going to say it because I'm Alex Toon. I've been busy. I know I keep saying I've been busy all the time, but honestly, I'm a busy guy. Anyway, I'm going to start with the good news. So, I have ordered 2 clutch conversion kits, one for the Mark 1 Cooper S and one for the Mark 3 Cooper S. And as you can see, my minivan is currently in the garage. And you might be thinking, where's your Mark 1? So, my Mark 1 is basically in Liverpool as we speak, being adapted, and honestly I cannot wait to get this car back. I was hoping to get it back for this weekend, so this weekend is Bewley, so it's currently the 12th today, and then Bewley's obviously tomorrow. So like I said, the Mark 1 went to Liverpool on the 1st of June to be adapted, but they're currently adapting a Toyota GI Yaris over there. Anyway, they've run into like loads of technical issues with it. Anyway, it's now finished and they've managed to start on mine, but that's kind of put mine back a week. So obviously, Bewley's out the window now, unfortunately. But I'm going to still go down to Bewley, see a few cars, see what's about, and get myself some motivation for, you know, the Mark 1 and the Mark 3, and see if there's anything on my cars that I'm missing that, you know, they need to have. So the reason the Mark 3 is still here. So basically, I'm testing a new wheel speed sensor setup because the current speed sensor that I'm using on the van, it's just proving to be a little bit unreliable. It's just old technology, the way we've done it on this one. So anyway, I've been talking to a guy recently and getting all the information from him, and he's made this hub for me. And then I've had Mechanics fit this hub with a specific sensor in it, which is going to be compatible with the ECU which the clutch conversion kit runs on. So like I say, that's currently in Liverpool at the minute being tested. As soon as I find out that works, I'm going to get a new hub made. I'm going to get 2 of them made, obviously one for the Mark III, one for the van, and I'm going to get them both fitted, and I'm going to send both of these back to Liverpool to have those sensors set up, and obviously the clutch conversion kit installed on the Mark III as well. We actually took that Mark III out last weekend, myself and Tom Shorrock. And I tell you what, that car is so fast. Like, I was absolutely gobsmacked how quick it was, and even Tom couldn't believe it because Tom's having a 1380 put in his car, and I said to him, "Come round, excuse me, for a takeaway." I was like, "Right, come on, let's take the Mark III for a spin first and see what this 1380 is about." And like I say, we was both like shocked of how fast it was. So yeah, I can't wait to get that one done. So anyway, basically in this week's update is a few jobs I was doing on the Mark 1 before obviously it went to Liverpool to start being adapted, and also it's had a bit of work done to it at Mechanics as well, which I'll explain further on in the video. Like I say, Mechanics have installed that speed sensor for me as well, so obviously the adaptations place haven't got to do it because it's quite involved. Obviously you've got to take the rear hub off and all that kind of stuff, and I don't think the adaptations place will kind of go that deep. So all the sensors have been installed, wire's been put up ready, so they've literally just got to feed that wire through and connect it up. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this week's video, and I shall catch you next time with something on the minivan, or maybe, you know, the Cooper S might be back. So take it easy, guys, and hopefully I'll see some of you at Bewley tomorrow, and I'll catch you next time. Right, okay, so it's now the next day. The heavens decided to open outside later on in the evening, so I know I have to result back to my garage. Anyway, I'm going to fit my new interior switch, which is dated the 9th, 64, which ties in with the wiper motor in the engine bay. Now, I asked for this switch on Facebook, and I'm not exaggerating, I literally caused a Facebook pandemic in the comments, because everyone was like, what's the point, just buy a new one, this, that and the other, and everyone was just going on with themselves. You know what people are like, everyone's got their own opinion. So I basically just said, look, I asked for a switch dated 64, not everyone's opinion. Anyway, I've got one, so within 15 minutes of that post, I'd got a new switch. So it's, in my eyes, that's not pointless, because by the time I order one from Mini Spares, it'd take me the same amount of time to get one brand new than what it did to get this one, which has been tested. It works, and also it's all part of the fun. So yeah, I've got my 64 switch. I've been getting the piss out me for this for weeks now, because I've had this. Saying that, it's probably been months I've had this sat in my garage now. So yeah, the headlight switch in the car is broke, so I've just got a new replacement one, obviously, for that one. And I've also got a nice little interior modification. Now, I've seen these on Mark 1s for years and years and years, and I just think they look so cool. I know it's not original, but basically what they do is you just slide on the end of your switch there, and then they both stick up on the things. I just think they're so cool, and like I say, literally to get them off, you literally do that. So yeah, I just think they look really cool. So right, I'm gonna get this switch on and then test it all works, and go from there. Okay, so that's the switch done. I'm gonna keep that old switch, because I'm just gonna keep it. Even though it's broke, you never know. But if any of those break again and I struggle to find one, I spoke to someone and they said that you can take this casing off and then retrofit it. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep hold of that. I've just got to what's it called? Put the heater box back in place, but I'm too excited. Now, if you've got a Mark 1 Mini and you haven't got these, I've had these for months now, but I've just not got around to doing it, because obviously I've only had one switch I can put them on, because this switch here is broke and it just falls off. So yeah, if you've got a Mark 1 and you've not got these on your car, seriously, you need to get them on. So literally all to do is you literally just slide on like that, and I tell you what, they look so good. I just think they're super cool. Then I know it's not original, but I don't care, they're just too cool. So yeah, mate, that's another job done. And there we have it, boys. This is step one. Sounds so good. Now it actually looks mint. Right, okay, so as you've just seen, the car's just gone to Minicanic's. Now I'll just briefly explain what Minicanic's going to do to it, because obviously I'm not going to be showing you. So first thing they're going to do is go over absolutely everything on the car. So I said to them, I want every single nut and bolt checking to make sure everything's torqued up as it should be, because obviously when I get the car back I'm going to be using it, so I want it to be safe and I want it to be right. Also, they're going to raise the suspension for me as well. So what I've asked them to do is to copy the ride height of the Mark III and then transfer it over to the Mark 1, so they both kind of sit the same. Because once, obviously, I put the standard wheels on it, I want it to look standard. If it's too low, I don't think it's gonna. I won't be able to pull it off. I don't think so. I want to make sure that it's a standard ride height. They're also going to drop the oil out of the engine for me as well, because it's not been done since the engine was running. Also on the front of the car, on the front drive shaft, the CV boot has come off as well, so I'm going to fix that for me. I've got all that stuff sorted out, and I think that is pretty much it, unless they find anything else on it. It's also having the new hub wheel speed sensor installed whilst it's there as well. So Paul's going to fit that for me, ready for when the car goes over to Liverpool next week. Now I'm not going to get into any information about this first, because I want to make sure it works before I start babbling on about it, but you'll find out about that in the future. And also, like I say, as soon as I find out this works, the speed sensor, the Mark III, is going to be running exactly the same setup, and I'm also going to be transferring the van onto it as well. So yeah, fingers crossed this works. So right, I shall catch up with you when the van's back in a couple of days, and I'll show you what my mechanics have done. And there we have it. She's all finished. Yeah, I'm super happy with the way this car's turned out. It just looks absolutely phenomenal. I really do like the rose petals, but it will be going back on its original Cooper S wheels to complete the look which I'm going for. So like I said, what I'll do, I'll give you a bit of a recap as to what I've done with the car over the past 12 months. As there's probably people watching this video who's probably not got a clue what I've been doing over the last 12 months, so I'll just run through all the bits that I've done. It's mainly just little bits, bolt-on bits I've been doing. I've not done any major restoration work to it. So right, what I'll do, I'll start with the back end and then we'll work his way around interior and all that kind of stuff. So one of the things I've done to the car is I've put a new Heritage boot lid on it, because the boot lid that it come with was the original one, but it had a spot lamp fitted there. Now the spot lamps on a Mark 1, on a Mark 1 Cooper S, wasn't, you know, a standard feature from the factory. It did look cool, but like I say, I just thought I'm going to whiz it off, because it's not meant to be on there, and I want it to be, like I say, as original as possible, by the fact it's on dry suspension and it's got H4 carbs on it. So like I said, that was one of the jobs I've done. I also powder coated the registration plate bracket as well. I got a new one of them because the one that was on it was a little bit pitted. Like I said, I've still got the original boot lid and all the original bits and bobs off it. It's literally in the garage. So yeah, I just put a complete replacement on it, if you like. I did use the same handle on it as well to keep the keys the same, but like I say, it's all done. But yeah, it looks absolutely spot on. I mean, the finish on that registration plate bracket is just perfect. Inside, obviously put a replacement millboard liner, because the old one had a hole coming through for where the wiring went through for the spot lamp. I've put a new boot board in it, because the original one was pretty beat up. I've also put some little rubber bungs in there as well over the past couple of weeks, just because when the boot board was in, it was like rocking side to side. It was clipped in on the clip, but it was rocking, and then I found out that you need to put like a little rubber bung in there just to stop that wobbling to and fro. So yeah, I've done that. I've put a standard 3.5J spare wheel in it. That's not a Cooper S wheel. I am going to be sourcing a proper LP 882, which is obviously the 3.5J, and the LP 883 are the 4.5J wheels, which I've got over there, which are going to be going on the car in the not too distant future. What else have I done? Oh, I also put some new boot cables on it, just because the old ones were a little bit tatty. And then on the back of the car again, I put a replacement lens on it as well, because the other one was cracked. I actually bought two of those lenses, and that one was the best match with that one. It's also had the original non-locking fuel caps put back on it, because it come with a key, the locking ones. That was a super common thing to happen back in, you know, the 60s, 70s and 80s, before the locking fuel caps come out. Was if someone wanted to take your fuel, you literally just take your cap off and then you're in. So yeah, a lot of, you know, early cars had them took off just to stop people robbing your fuel. So yeah, I managed to locate a couple of those. These things as well are just ridiculously expensive as well. So if you see any of them going cheap, buy them, because trust me on this one, those are a good investment. Yeah, so moving on around the side of the car, it's also, I've put the shrouds on. It didn't come with them, so I had to drill and tap some new bolts in there as well. As you can see, that's all nice and lovely under there, and I put a spacer on the inside as well to stop the water sitting in there, and obviously the little rubber grommet which goes in there It's still got obviously the Bilstein shock absorbers on it. I'm not going to change that because I really can't bother taking them fuel tanks out, because obviously on a normal Mini you'd take them out, you'd have to take the fuel tank out to get that shock absorber out, and then you'd have access to this one. But because this is a Cooper S, it's got 2 tanks, and I just know for a fact if I start taking them 2 tanks out, I'm going to scratch something, and then, you know, I'm just getting down a rabbit hole again of work that I don't really need to do, because I've read up on those Bilstein shock absorbers, and they might be the dog's bollocks, so I'm going to leave them on there. Right, moving on to the inside of the car. What I've done, I have sourced a proper Mark 1 steering wheel, because it come with a Les Leston wheel in it as well. If anyone wants to see how this car was, exactly how it was before I even did anything to it, I'll put a link in the description to the first video on it, and it's literally exactly how I got the car. It was like a cafe racer kind of vibe on it. It looked really good, but I wanted it to be a little bit more original. Like I say, on the inside as well, I've put a replacement rear view mirror in it because it had one out of an E-Type in it. I've replaced the clips as well for the sun visors, because this being a 65 model, it's got the swing away sun visors. That was specific to a 65 Cooper S, I think. Yeah, I think they introduced that in 64 and they didn't carry it on for too much longer. Like I say, I've put a new switch in it as well, new headlight switch, and I've also put the toggle extensions on it as well, which I just think are a really cool modification to do. What else did I do? There was a switch panel underneath the dash rail, which I've removed. You can still see the remnants of the wiring, which I need to sort out, but again, that stuff I can sort out, you know, next year. I've not got to be pissing around with that yet. So yeah, that's that. Oh, I've also fitted the ashtrays, which you'll have saw me do earlier on in this video, which was a nice little job to do. I'm still looking for a set of original ones. Those are actually reproduction ones, which I'm not too bothered about, because the rest of the interiors, you know, been fully restored by Newton Commercials. But if I do manage to find a nice set of new old stock ones, I'll give them a purchase. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the inside. Shut that door. Mark 1 life. Coming round to the front of the car, I've also sourced myself some proper new old stock wiper blades. I think they dated back till 1970, 71, 72. I can't quite remember. Again, there's a video of me doing that on the channel with what's it called, the fuel caps and all that kind of stuff. Around the front of the car, I've took the stick-on registration plate off the bonnet, which it had, and it had like a 65 on the bonnet and 65 on the doors, so I removed all them vinyls as well. Put myself a new proper road going registration plate on it with a raised digits, which was nice. And if I just pop this bonnet open here, 1 second. Yeah, so underneath the bonnet, I've put K&N air filters on it because it come with RAM stacks, and that is pretty much all I've done underneath the bonnet. So if anyone wants to know a little bit more information on this engine whilst I've got the bonnet open, it's a completely standard Cooper S engine, bar the fact it's had an overbore to a 1293, obviously because the engine's been rebuilt, so that's the best way of doing it, rather than, you know, going balls deep and taking it back to a 1275 and putting liners in it straight away. Just give them an overbore to a 1293, and then, you know, there's still plenty of life left in that block before you have to start thingy lining it. But yeah, underneath the bonnet, pretty much standard. Needs a bit of sound insulation on the bulkhead, but again, that's something I can do in the future. I'm not too bothered about that one. So right, let me just shut this bonnet. One of the things Minicanics did as well is the car didn't have a spring to pull the catch back, so when you start the car up, the bonnet used to just pop off. So yeah, they've sorted that out for me. It's still got like the Speedwell buttons on it on the front, which is a nice little touch. But yeah, apart from that, that is pretty much it. I'm over the moon with the final product of it. I really am. There we have it, she's all ready to go. I am so excited now, like literally I cannot contain my excitement. I know it's been 12 months, it's been a long time coming, but like I said, I wanted it to be ready, absolutely right, so then when I get it back I can just enjoy it and I'm not got to start messing around doing stuff on it. Don't get me wrong, there's bits and bobs on it that I still want to do, but it's mainly kind of detailing wise, kind of cleaning up chromes, works and all that kind of stuff. So that isn't a necessity to obviously get the car on the road. So, like I say, the car is getting collected tomorrow, which is the 1st of June. I don't know when you'll watch this video, probably the Sunday after. So like I say, Steve's picking it up tomorrow, and then he's driving it to Liverpool. So I've made sure that it's got fuel in it. I know it's all ready for the road as well, because Paul from Minicanics has given the car a once-over, which I've already explained. But yeah, I put some rubber grommets in the car as well. So basically, I'm not going to go crazy on this. So when they route cables through, like the clutch cable, it's going to come through the inner wing. So I've left a various selection of grommets from there. So then what they can do is they can drill the hole in the inner wing, touch the paint up, put a grommet in, feed the cable through, and then I know that the cable's not going to rub on the inner wing, because I did that with my van. So I know exactly roughly where all the kit's going. Like I say, I'm not going to go too mad on it, because I want to show you how the clutch conversion actually works in my van first, before I show you this thing getting adapted, because then you might have a better understanding of obviously what's going on. But yeah, I'm literally just too excited. I really am. I can't wait. So hopefully I should have it back within 2 weeks, and I'm hoping to get it back for the weekend of Bewley. I'm not sure whether I'm going to trailer the car down to Bewley or I'm going to drive it. I'll make a decision closer to the time. I'm not scared of driving it. It's just the fact that the car's so fresh. I don't want to get halfway down the M6 and then be stuck on the hard shoulder, just for the sake of saying, oh, I've drove it 240 miles, because don't get me wrong, I will be driving it. As soon as it's back, I'm going to be driving the life out of it. I can't wait. So yeah, as always guys, I'm not going to waffle on for too long. If you've got any questions, get in the comment section, and I shall see you next time with something else. It'll probably be the van video next. I know I keep saying this, but I've actually started filming it, and then it'll be this one, and then be first drive time then, won't it? But yeah, I'm too excited. So I shall catch you in the next one. Keep safe, and I'll see you soon.